Here's some. So now we are putting the millet in the bottom where the water was, and that's plenty there for both of us. Yeah. And so it just absorbed that tiny little bit of water we used to perfectly steam these greens. We steamed them with like that much water in the bottom. It was pretty amazing. And so now we've got the greens here, and what we can do is we can put some oil in here, and while these are still wet and steaming, we put some oil in, and the vitamins E and K will absorb out into the greens. What kind of oil do you want to put on this?
We'll put it on something that's distilled get oily.
Well, I would say we put this in there with it.
You want to have it all together?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep that in there. And the question is, what kind of oil do we want? Olive oil or almond oil? Got very little almond oil. Let's say we save that. Let's use olive oil. So then we're going to pour in the olive oil and make a loop of the system so that it gets mixed in evenly and coats the greens. So it's absorbing those vitamins evenly out of the plant. And put a little bit more in there. I usually think of a gallbladder. And you've seen pictures of a gallbladder and how big a gallbladder is. Well, that stores your bile. And so your bile is what you use to digest fats. And so if you use oil in proportion to your gallbladder, then you get enough oil with each helping, each serving.
So what if, let's put a little bit of salt in here because of that, so a lot of greens and
Okay.
stock and stuff that doesn't have any salt.
Yeah, that's great. So we salt around and stir. And then we'll salt
Possibly
and stir.
for flavor, we could, or I don't know what other purposes, add a little bit of something acidic, like a little bit of, just a little bit of vinegar in it. And we could put
Kind of vinegar.
lemon, but let's do vinegar, just a little bit of vinegar.
A little bit of white balsamic.
White balsamic.
It smells delicious. So we'll evenly distribute the balsamic vinegar around our plants here, and then mix it into the system. Okay. And what else do we want to add?
Just eat it. I want to save that last bit.
You want to have hummus with it? It might be pretty darn tasty.
It's good.
So we'll have some hummus with this.
Oh yeah, and then
grate some beet on
what
top?
about some grated beet? Yeah.
So
Well, let's put it on the.
on our serving bowls, sure, sounds great. So we're gonna serve it up here. Half it tend to half it out, I guess. Even though I guess I'm a lot bigger.
Yeah, you are a lot bigger, so it shouldn't be half it. It's all even.
We always half it out, and it's funny.
But
and you always leave a little bit, and I come back and eat it. I know, it doesn't make sense. We've got to equilibrate our proportions.
Yeah.
According to our.
But that evenness comes from, from growing up with 3 brothers, and this whole thing about everything being even. And,
they probably had a very similar constitution.
So,
but at the same time, guys.
No. Well,
guys and girls have
that
roughly
comes
the
from
same
childhood.
energies.
That comes from just.
It's also like, what are you going to use the energy for, too? Who's going to need more based on what they're doing next? And it's like.
There were definitely periods in my childhood. I remember running a race with my somewhat older brother.
Mm-hmm.
To finally prove, of course, boys are, we ran this race and I won.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Doing more with less energy. That's what the universe is about.
At a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually.
Yeah, well, the hormone cycles kick on and differentiate more. Nice. Look at how beautiful that is. It's all spraying too. You see that spray come off? It's like a beet spray.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, there we go.
Hungry.
Me too.
A lot.
It is, but at least we learned a whole lot. We had a huge discussion, and I'm sure that will carry over. People will be glad to have that kind of information coming to them. Some food physics. I love the color of beets. Like they have this kind of like purple, pink, red, like magenta, I guess, maroon.
It's magenta. It's not really maroon. It's deep,
magenta, yeah.
Deep magenta.
Yeah, it's got kind of a luminescence to it. I really appreciate that. And we can have some crackers with this, maybe. I don't know what kind of crackers would go with that. I don't know. Have any crackers that
Mary might go with it, yeah. Do that or the.
No, we don't really have. I don't really want caraway right now. I have some celery. Yeah, just a little bit of it.
Or if you want this.
One of those. Rye. I think these will be good. They're from Norway.
Oh yeah, that's what they're talking about. Scandinavian staple.
Cool. Let's do it. Let's do some Norwegian crackers. Okay. Let's just clean up here. Ow. I like to clean up before we eat. It's like when you come back to seeing and smelling and interacting with food after you've already eaten, it like re-engages the digestive system and kind of distracts you from that feeling of satiety. It like re-engages the feeling of hunger and therefore doesn't really, I don't know, it's just distracting.